A friend recently told me there's a difference between caring and kindness. Caring is selfish, whereas kindness is selfless. This same friend also imbibes dark liquor midday, but despite her antics, she often gives very insightful, albeit occasionally inciting, advice. To me, they are generic words, limited not only by the unimaginative English language, but also by an epidemic of the underwhelming predilection towards the nuances of vocabulary, a depth, like so many, that arrives only after both studiously reading and eventually turning the page. Right, I know. Let it sink in. You'll understand, even if you don't think you do. That's partly what I'm pointing out. The meanings are there, whether we can intellectualize them or not. Despite not being able to properly individualize, isolate, and analyze each part of the whole, there's always the option to just swallow it down in one go and then see how you feel. Oh, and that feeling? It's where the truth lies. Or wait, is it lays? I hope it's lies. The contrast of truth lying makes me chuckle. A play on words that I would like to take a moment to get lost in. Humor me, as if you weren't already. The lies that are within the truth are omnipresent, pervading our senses, fueling our passions, and blazing the trail onward in hope of direction, in pursuit of desire. It's these lies, the idiosyncratic fables we derive from a cascade of stimuli, from a wave of personal perception, and with who knows how much alarming self-deception. It's these lies that form the basis of our truth. By being able to step into and out of the mire, to climb to the peak of self-realization and possess the fortitude to then cast this newfound internal vision over the side of the summit, watching the constricting disparity within plummet as we finally merge ourselves where heaven meets earth, melting into the languid dusk as brightly as we shine in the breaking dawn. The grand dematerialization of the great unknown, the composite of everything that we know being coalesced into an undulation of tree-formed mountains, centuries marching tirelessly upward, astutely standing guard of the mystery above while rooted in the ground below, keeping watch as clouds infiltrate the blue sky, the way cream slides into and swirls, mingling delicately with the tannins of a Thai iced tea, a velveteen occlusion of invitingly bitter clarity. It's this awareness that allows us to separate the folly from the farce, a splitting of hairs where the knowing becomes the pull because we are unencumbered enough to disassociate from the push, from the lies, where the lies become a comedy of error rather than the fabrication of our existence. Oh, don't mistake my words for ease. Grace is an innate gift, but it is still a virtue. A great deal of effort must be expended for any expansion. We must enmesh ourselves in presence to even have a chance. And with that, we have to draw our minds back and find that feeling over and over, the feeling of truth, and follow it. See, I always have a direction, even when the words meander out at the same unconcerned gait as my walk, a molasses flow of completion, a lack of urgency replaced by a redirection of attention to detail, the inability to sweep through life, preferring instead to dance with it. To be sure, it lessens my aerobic workload, but wouldn't you know, it still strengthens my heart. To pause with the curiosity at the moss on the oak trees, to see the world contained within a world, contained within a world, and be reminded of the mirror maze of life, the unlimited reflections, distortions, and fragments, all pointing back to some indiscernible focal point. A point that flinches each time we are certain of being certain, that shifts left and right and back again every time we forget to fully exhale, and remember again each time we breathe in. It's those glimpses that show us the way, but only when we take the time to collectively mosaic the shining shrapnel of life and accept it for what we're shown, a kaleidoscope of jewels and an infinite loop of creation, no one reality having more or less value. After all, how could beauty, rearranged by change, continue to be anything but unceasingly beautiful? I guess what I'm trying to say is this. I think caring and kindness are the same thing. Not that anyone asked.